Until now, you have probably been wondering, how does the menu work? In this lesson, we will customize the application's menu and change its appearance. First of all, let me show you here. Let me go and open the widget tree and show you where we'll find the menu. And pretty much like the other, the menu is simply a web block that is placed inside the menu placeholder. It is added to this placeholder every time you create a new screen. Okay, so let's open the menu web block, and you'll notice that this web block also includes here a container that has a set of other web blocks, which are each one of the menu options that you have. And if we expand this, you'll notice that we have two other placeholders, one for the menu option itself, the menu option itself here, dashboard, this one, there, and another placeholder for submenu items. And one other thing that I'd like to show you is that if you notice here this expression, let me open here the expression editor, this is actually using here this get menu item function. So let me just right click and go to this function, and you'll notice that this is actually the entity action for the menu item static entity. And in this case, we are using this action to retrieve the dashboard record there, and then we are showing its caption. Okay, let me show you this. If I select here the dashboard, and if I change here the caption, so my dashboard for instance, you'll notice that this immediately reflects here on the web block. Okay, so let me just revert this back to dashboard. And what I want to do here on the menu, the change that I want to introduce in the menu, is that for each one of these three last options, I want to add the number of issues that are on this condition. So the issues that are unclassified, that are high priority, and that are low priority. And to do this, I will create a user action. So let me just go ahead and do this. I will create a user action that will count the issues by priority. And to do this, I will need also to add an input parameter, which will be the priority ID in this case. Okay, now to get the issues with this priority, we'll need to add here a query. So let me just go here and get issues, and I want to filter this query. By this input parameter. So again, you've seen this before. I will just use this trick here, this tip, to add this priority ID to the query, and there you have it. Now we have the query filtered by the priority ID, and I want to return something out of this action. So I'll need an output parameter, and in this case I want to return the number of issues, not the issue list, not the list of issues. I want to return the number of issues. So I'll name this count, and I will need to assign to this output parameter, the count. Let me just add here the assign node. I'll need to assign to this output parameter, count, the result of the query. In this case, not the list. I want to return the count, the number of issues. Okay? So we're pretty much set and done for creating this action. Now we need to use this action in our web block here on the menu. And to use the action on the menu, we'll actually need to add here a preparation. And let's go ahead and use the action. So this one. So first issues that we're going to count will be the high priority ones. So let me just rename here so that we know what this is. High. And now we want to count the low priority issues there and set this to low. And finally, just rename this, low. And finally, let's just me add here some space. I want to count the unclassified issues. The unclassified issues are the issues that don't have a priority. So for this parameter here, I will use null identifier. Okay, now we have the actions. Let's use them here on the web block. Let me open here the widget tree and show you. We're going to add inside this link, and before that expression that we have there, we're going to add a new expression to display the value that we just got from the action. So add an expression here, and the value will be, in this case, this is the unclassified, so the value will be the output. I forgot to rename this. We should rename this to unclassified, the output of this here. And let me just set here an example, so 5 for instance, and let's do the same for the other ones. There, hi, there, set the value, so this is the high, that one, and set an example, and finally do the same for the low. And set here the value, this one low. Okay, set an example as well, so do for instance. Now, we don't have any spacing in between these elements, and I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that by adding a new style definition. So let me open here the CSS editor, and you'll notice that in this case, this first tab is not the web screen. This is actually the web block that we are on. Okay, this is the menu web block. And again, this is for the more specific styles that we are only going to use inside this web block. So let me paste here from the clipboard the style that I want to define. It's this one. Again, you will find this in the video lesson resources. Let me just close this, and I will apply that style to these expressions that I added to the links. So this one, oops, sorry, notification. There, you see that this fixes the spacing, and it renders this value in a different way. And also for the other ones, oops, not this, notification. And finally, this one. Okay, so we're all done here for this web block. Let's see how this is looking in the page. For instance, the dashboard. And I want to fix this color as well. So I will again add a new style definition. Let me just open up here the style sheet editor. And I will add this style definition here to the customer support, because this is something that I want to have throughout the application. And let me just paste it here from the clipboard. Okay, and you see it all immediately reflects there the change in that color for the highlighted menu. Let's just publish and see this in the browser. Okay, so here we have our issues list with the menu reflecting the number of unclassified issues, the number of high priority, so it's 2 there, the number of low priority, and with the different colors in the menu. And that's it.